What's happening, Canes fam? It's your boy CB back with another huddle watch along for another Miami recruit in the 2024 class. On today's episode, I have what I can only describe as a actual monster. Deryc Plazz, a three-star offensive tackle that committed to Miami in the 2024 class, 6'5", 300, explosive, athletic, and absolutely tenacious on the offensive line. But y'all don't want to hear from me. Y'all want to hear from the man himself. Let's welcome one of our newest Canes, Deryc Plazz. How's your weekend going, man?
My weekend's going good. Had a good day of practice today, and been getting up ever since. Just getting better, preparing myself for this senior season.
So we talked a little bit before we hit record about obviously practicing in Florida is a bit different than it is everywhere else. Can you speak to what it's like being a recruit down there, where every game you play, every practice, it's somebody elite on the other side for you from you?
Yeah, it's just a good thing because I feel like it's like a competitive advantage because especially as a recruit, because in Idaho or Nebraska, it's not the same type of competition. And I know a lot of guys are pretty good, but when they get to college, they need to adjust to the level of competition. But playing in Florida, you're either playing against somebody that's really good DN, that's Power Five or Division One, or you're playing against a guy that's just super athletic, has no business,
Yeah.
like a safety, corner, receiver that just not good enough, can't ball or something. So either way it go, you're getting better every game.
So what is that like for you? Obviously, being a tackle, you're one of your biggest things is you're a lot of times you're out there on an island, especially when you're that good of a tackle. You know, they want you on the best pass rusher. But a lot of times in South Florida, these pass rushers are your size, but they run like safeties. What is that like being a tackle in that kind of environment where I got to pack my lunch every single day?
Yeah, I mean it's fun because like either you getting good work regardless. So it's not like when you playing somebody bad, you kind of get bored with it, just tossing guys around.
Yeah.
But when you got a guy that can give you a run for your money and actually compete with you, it makes the game way more fun.
It's that competitive nature that you hear in all of the recruits in this class. We talked a little bit about that too. You guys are putting together a very, very impressive class.
Mhm.
Young men that are hungry, that are athletic aliens. Can you speak to what made you choose Miami? Obviously, Coach Mirabal, Coach Cristobal have that rich offensive line history. What was it that attracted you to the Canes?
I mean, that was a part of it. Then the guys that they already had committed, those were guys that I like being around, like talking with. So that I knew that was a plus. Then the guys that's already on the team are all guys that's committed to building Miami back up to what it should be. And that's what I'm all about. I'm all about winning number 6 and building Miami
Let's
up to
go.
what it's supposed to be. Miami is not a bottom of the barrel program, as everybody knows that. We're a top of college football. So I know that Cristobal and his staff are the right guys to get us there. And with Cristobal and Mirabal's relationship, I know that Coach Mirabal is never getting fired. He's never going to leave. He wants to be at Miami. That's where they're from. It's not like Coach Cristobal wants to go NFL. This is just a pit stop. No, Miami's the job that he wants to have, and he's very committed to the University of Miami. That's something that I love. Then their offensive lineman developmental rap sheet, that was just amazing. It blew me out the water because yeah, that was just crazy because I never. Then individually, they're both phenomenal offensive line coaches, but when you
Yep.
put both of them together, it's ridiculous. I feel like there's no better place right now in college football you can get developed better.
I completely agree with that. And you see their passion too. Coach Mirabal's passion
Yeah,
for offensive line play. And if anyone does not follow him on Twitter, do so. He, aside from the work we know they do, we know this staff is notorious for not sleeping, for working 25 hours in a day if they could. You then still see Mirabal giving nuggets on Twitter, breaking down film, giving other offensive linemen who are not even committed these little golden nuggets and advice on technique. How much has he given you just in the little bit that you've known him?
a lot from about earlier this year when I got my offer to now. He sent me all type of drills. He break down my film, tell me what I did good, what I can do better, things like that. It's just something that I love about him because it's not just him. It's 4 guys doing it. You got Cristobal, Mirabal, Bain, and Pata. And now we have a new coach. So right now we have 5 offensive line coaches.
Let's
You
go.
don't get that nowhere else in the country. So that was another big reason I committed because It's always eyes on you, so you're always getting coached, always getting better. That's something that I love.
Look, you cannot beat that kind of coaching from a staff that's passionate about it too. It's
Mhm.
not just they're giving you information because they want to keep you. Obviously, it's Miraball's probably watching tape and going, hey, "I should show Deryc this." That's just the passion that
Yeah,
they have. When you hear Coach Cristobal talk about the offensive line, talk about some of the new guys he got in this year. Yeah, he doesn't necessarily light up when he talks about anything because he's very, professional when he talks. But you can feel that passion. You can hear he'll talk a little faster. His voice gets a little higher. You can
Mhm.
feel that passion for the offensive line. To that note, y'all, if you have not watched these highlights, I'm going to link them down in the description, but we're going to get into it here because if you have not, you are in for a absolute treat. One of the first things I'm on pause on, Mr. Deryc. 61 pancakes, 1 sack allowed. That is tremendous, man.
yeah.
Does that one still bother you? Tell the truth.
The crazy thing about it, it wasn't even like if I could pull the play right now, I would, but it wasn't even on me. So it's first game of the season. It's supposed to be a kickoff classic, but we go play Brunswick, who are in Georgia. So for Georgia football, it's first week. The game counts. So that game ended up having to count. The running back didn't pick the guy up, and since I was the left tackle, like I stepped to the guy thinking the running back gonna take over, so I moved along, and he got the sack. So that was my one.
Yeah. So if y'all are wondering, yes, that's that competitive nature in him to where he gave up 1 sack this year on paper. And with weeks to go in the next season, you can tell this play is still that fresh on your mind. That
Yeah,
if you close your eyes, you can see this play right now. That's what we love. But 61 pancakes. And a lot of these are just physically dominant over the next person. The explosion off the ball is the first thing you notice too. And then when we talk about finishing blocks, look here. That's how you finish a block. Bro, that tenacity, where does that come from? Have you always had that kind of defensive mindset when you play tackle?
yeah, because I've been playing offensive line since I was little. Like when I was younger, I played center, so it's kind of natural.
So have you ever played on the defensive line? Because you have that
Yeah,
quick first step explosiveness that you typically see in like a two technique.
I played defensive end before, but that was it.
This ability to move people, I'm talking about moved a man out of the frame. When we talk about clearing running lanes, that's how you clear a running lane. That dude 10 yards that way. That's a high motor on offense. I bet your running backs just love running behind you, bro.
Yeah,
That kind of tenacity, that's what we need back at the U. Completely sprung your running back. Oh, I know your quarterback and your running back just be loving it. Now here we go again. Explosion. For you, what's cooler? A pancake on a run play where you just absolutely destroy somebody, or if they got you one on one with a premier pass rusher and you locking him down?
pancake. Moving a guy against his will, putting him on his back is better than anything in football.
Y'all, he moved this young man about 10 to 15 yards that away and then finished. That's once you get your hand. Another thing I noticed, you get your hands on somebody's breastplate, it's over. Ain't
Yeah,
no if, ands, or buts. Ain't no you going for a ride if Deryc get his hands on your breastplate. See, this was supposed to be a double team block. He was like, I got this. I'll take care of this one. Don't worry about it. Do you prefer run blocking or pass blocking? I know it's similar to the last question I asked, but just in general,
yeah.
do you get more hype when you got a pass block or run block?
I like pass blocking. I feel like it causes you to move a little bit more, but it's a little more fun.
Never. Here's a word to defensive ends. Don't jump. He gonna punch you in the stomach every time. Do your eyes get wide when you see a defensive end do something like that? You thinking, oh, he don't know.
Yeah,
Because and shout out to him, he got up there. He he had the ups there. Obviously, it's his job if he don't get home to try to be disruptive as he can. But that's
Mm.
great instincts from you realizing, all right, got to get him down. Got to get this throwing lane for my quarterback over here by any means necessary. Boom. That explosion, that ability to still be in your drop step while you're pass blocking to then pivot and go, oh, quick, let me put hands on him, strong hands on him,
Mm-hmm.
straight pancake. And then watch our guy get the pancake and look for somebody else to block. Who else? Oh, I love that. I absolutely love that. Again, here at tackle, quick guy here off the edge, linebacker blitzing, which you would think he'd be a little bit more favorable. Smaller guy with some bend. For a big guy, you get down. You
Yeah.
play with really good leverage for a big guy. Is that something that's tough when you're 6'5"? Obviously, you're going up against some of these rush linebackers that are a little bit smaller that's got that bend.
For me, no, because I naturally kind of can bend well. So for me, it's not like hard because it's natural. It's not like I changed my stance or anything. It just came natural to me.
What what is it about offensive line that has always felt very natural? Because obviously, someone big with that wingspan you have, I know a few of your coaches have thought, man, let me put him on the defensive line and just see what
Yeah.
he can do. But you do seem like a bit of a natural at offensive line. With you've got quick footwork. You for a big physical dude, you're also really smooth. Which
Hmm.
you're not clumpy. You're not. You know what I mean? What is it about offensive line that's always felt natural to you?
So it's the first position I play. You know, when you get to the park, if your dad not a coach or you ain't the fastest kid, you going on the offensive line. So that's what the situation was for me. So I was on the offensive line. So from there is what I always done. And I played with for one coach all of my park ball. So he always had me as his center because I was one of the smarter kids. And center has to be smart no matter what level. So it's something that came natural. So I didn't play none in the middle school from like sixth to eighth grade. I didn't play. I played basketball. So when I got to high school,
Really?
back to football. And really, for me, I could have played defensive line if I wanted to, but from there, I had a coach that really helped me understand the fact that it's 100 defensive linemen that's 6'5" and can bend and move a little bit. It's not many athletic tackles, and that's what everyone's looking for now. They don't want a big bruiser. They want somebody that's athletic and can also bruise and move people and things like that. So it was just kind of a business decision. I knew I'd be better off playing offensive line. Then it's something that I love to do.
With that versatility and that athleticism you have too, do you plan on moving around a bit at the next level? I know Cristobal likes to stress learn every position or at least multiple positions up front. Is that something you're looking forward to at the next level?
Definitely, because with Coach Mirabal, it's regardless. He cross trains everybody. But looking at what we have right now, already going to be in the offense line when I get there, my best bet will probably be to move around. If because when I look at the guys, the young guys that we have in what positions they're playing, and the guys that are going to be developing, getting developed by Chris Ball and Mirabal, I'll probably end up playing interior or as a swing lineman, do a little bit of anything.
I love hearing that because you it's the same thing with someone like Samson Okunlola who came in this year.
Yeah,
Obviously, he projects as a tackle, but Mirabal's had him just a little bit of everywhere. Even in the spring, it was hard for people to pinpoint who's going to be where because you'd hear on Monday, all right, they got Goa at left tackle, and then Tuesday you'd hear, all right, now he's at right guard, and you're just going, oh, they don't. He mean a lot of coaches say that, right? That it's the coach speaker. We move guys around. Everybody's got to learn multiple positions. Doesn't always really happen that way. He seems like this is 100% just set in stone. You are going to have the versatility on this offensive line. And I love
yeah,
that. So here, I had to rewind a couple of these while we were speaking because there is a play in here where when I first watched it, I was thinking to myself, I was like, is he if you watch it quickly while you're taking notes, it looks like you got up to the second level and blocked somebody. That's
yeah.
not exactly what happened. What happened is you blocked someone to the second level of the play. That here we go. So when you look away, it looks like all right. So it was a 2-on-1. He's the one that peels off and gets to the second level and gets a hat on a hat.
Yeah.
That's not exactly what happens here. What happens here is our man blocks someone all the way into the second level. Finishing blocks like that, bro. Speak to that kind of tenacity, that aggression, that I'm not going until I hear the whistle or you're on your back.
I mean, that's what I was taught by my coach. You finish everything. So that's just, it comes natural as well.
Shout out your O-line coach, because you
Yeah.
you do have really good technique and you have that aggression, that tenacity that you look for in a tackle, but with reserved technique too. You're not blowing assignments. You're not letting guys get up the field. Shout out to your offensive line coach.
Yes, sir.
You love that because of course you're someone who's big, physical, explosive, athletic. You can get yourself out of bad situations if you put yourself in them, but you don't see yourself putting yourself in those bad situations, which means you're coachable, but you're also getting the good coaching.
Mm-hmm.
Being coachable it's half the battle. You can have a great offensive line coach, but if you're not taking the coaching, there's only so much they can do. When you watch your film, you can see that sound technique, which points to being coachable, which you love to see.
Yes, sir.
And again, your running backs just, I know Kevin Riley be watching your huddle and just, okay, about to have 15K behind this dude. You and Juan on the same offensive line is just insane. Pass
Yeah.
blocking here. And this is what I'm talking about here, where when one of these speed rushers get cued on Deryc does this thing where I call it Bruce Lee punch. It's like a 1-inch quick punch. When one of these defensive linemen gets cute, that happens. You change direction, fine. Ground. That's how you deal with that speed, I'm guessing. You just, okay, you want
Yeah.
to change direction on me? All right. I got something for you. Nice here. So you see the defensive end adjust here for a second, thinking big offensive line. I've got him. I think I can do a quick step inside. Immediately, you correct, get your arm inside, and he knows, uh-oh. And now he's cooked. That football IQ, those instincts. Are you a big film guy?
Yeah. First, I had to learn how to watch film because first I was just looking at it, like write some notes. But with my school, we was like, with my old school, we had to turn in notes, so it kind of gets you to watch the film.
I really like that. That's a great policy, because obviously just telling somebody to watch film, they can throw it on and be
Yeah,
on Twitter. But
exactly.
forcing you to take some notes and turn some notes in, that's a really, really good idea. What coach brought that up? I'd like to give him a shout out here, because that is a great learning tool.
It was actually my coach, and everything I post, I always put Long Live Rock 77. So it started with him. Then once he passed away, I had Coach Bubba Horn, who is at Oakleaf right now with my past head coach. But he continued to incorporate that.
That's a really, really great learning tool. Because everyone don't like watching film, or like you said, don't really understand how I'm supposed to break down my own film. You can
Mhm.
be your biggest critic, but there is that other skill set of, all right, I can see what I'm doing wrong, but why? Also learning the why is important. You hear Coach Kevin Beard talk about that a lot with his young receivers, is I
Mhm.
have to show you why you do the bad things you do. It's not enough to just tell you did something wrong. I need you to understand why it happens.
Yeah.
Here we go. Just driving off the ball here. Get pancake. So what kind of player is Deryc Plazz when he balling? When you done got 6, 8 pancakes in a game, are we talking, or are you quiet?
I actually chill unless the guy starts talking. Like last year, me and my left guard, we used to just chill, just move people around, do our thing, and chill. But once people start talking, then we'll start talking. But then a lot of the times we talk to each other and be laughing at dudes.
Do you anticipate this season being any different in that regard? Because obviously now you're Miami commit Deryc Plazz. Somebody is going to strap their pads on every Friday, thinking he's going to try to make his name off you. Obviously.
Yeah, I mean, being on a new team and being in the situation I'm in, being one of the bigger recruits in my city, and going to Miami as an offensive line, I already know people gonna try to bring their A game, especially on the team that I'm on now. Every team we play, if they beat us, that's their Super Bowl. They had a good year. So as a team, I know that we got a lot of Division I guys, and we're all locked into the fact that we can't take no days off, can't underestimate anybody.
This dude tried everything he could to get off this block, Deryc. I feel for him here. He talk to us what it's like on a play like this when you know you got your hands on a defensive end. What's that like? Break something like this down for us where it's one-on-one here. You just move a man.
With me, well, I feel like once I can grab you, it's pretty much over from there. But then from there, it's just for me to continue to run my feet and then try to finish the block. So a lot of guys fight the block. They get the back pedaling, like extending. They don't want to go down. But then sometimes you can't really fight it. It just happens. So from
I
there,
was
that's
gonna mention that. You move your feet almost like a running back through contact. Once
yeah,
you get contact and you get that breastplate, it's almost like you're watching a running back who just is not going to stop churning, not going to stop churning. And a lot of these pancakes are really just you don't stop driving. And the and the defensive lineman at that point, he's just a passenger.
yep,
That explosion. Yo, we about to have a ridiculous offensive line.
yeah.
This class so far. And then obviously the battles at Green Tree. How much are you looking forward to going against some of the other guys in this class like Dalen Russell, Lightfoot, that's going to be at Green Tree with you?
That's big because the defensive line that we have at Miami right now is young and is very talented, phenomenal coaches. So it's like I don't think playing in the ACC or whether we move conferences or not, I don't think we're going to ever come up against a defensive line that's better than ours. There may be some that's pretty good or better at certain things, but overall, far as talent and being coached up and physically developed, you're never going to face a defensive line better or a front seven better. So I know we're going to be very prepared going into games.
You hear some of the old King greats talk about that, where the practices at Green Tree, that was a national championship for them. They walked out of Green Tree begging to hit anybody else
Yeah.
because of how hard those practices were, how every rep was a championship rep. And no
Mm-hmm.
matter who you speak to in this class, whether it's you, whether it's Judd, whether it's Juan, whether it's Marquise, y'all all seem to have that singular mindset of it's our job with the class ahead of us as well, because these are Mario's guys, to
Mm-hmm.
change the culture here. This
Yep.
team obviously needs a little bit of a boost, and like you said, it's young. But what Mario is doing is he's bringing in high quality guys,
Mm-hmm.
ridiculous athletes, but in between the ears, you guys all seem to have the same goal, the same mindset. It's one of the first things you said we started talking. Look, we here to change things.
Yeah.
We know the class above us is young. We coming in running full speed as well. In this class, before you committed, we crowned Judd Anderson as the ambassador. It seems like both of you guys have taken it as a personal goal to be as busy on the recruiting trail as Mario, as Coach Field.
Yeah.
Talk to what that's like. It seems like once y'all committed, the next goal was okay, who else? You
Mm-hmm.
guys have hit the trail. I don't know if anybody talks about more recruits than I do, and I think it's you and Judd. You guys hit the trail hard. Was that
Yeah.
something that y'all talked about where it's like, all right, we in, but now it's time to build the rest of the class?
It's not something that we necessarily talk about, but it's something that just naturally happens. Like with Judd, he's a big leader, and as a quarterback, you have to be a leader. So for him, that it kind of comes natural because he's the leader of our class because he's our quarterback. So from there, like if you can't get a couple guys or hit a couple guys up on Twitter, you're not gonna be able to win the national championship. So I think he understands that, and then that's his personality. He's an open guy. Him and his dad are very good people. So it's something that comes naturally. I think it's the same for me as well. Like I play offensive line, but at the same time, I'm a vocal guy, outgoing guy, friendly guy. So it's kind of easier to connect the guys for the both of us. And then just letting guys know that they're wanted. It's one thing to be wanted by coaches, but when you see the same from other recruits in that class, it means a little bit more.
So speaking to that, you guys just had a little bit of a barbecue at the
Mhm.
crib, and obviously that's a bonding moment for the 24 class. It's obviously y'all's way of talking to some other recruits in the 24 class and the 25 class. Who are some of those guys in the 24 class that we have committed already that you've already established that bond with, that brothership with?
Definitely Juan and Judd, but then at the barbecue, I got to know JoJo, Chance, all of those guys. Like the whole time at the barbecue, all the commits were in the pool together. We was playing football in the pool, having a good time with AJ, JoJo, Chance, Chris, everybody. We was all really chilling, having a good time together. Then we had some. We was in the pool chilling. Then we had time to just talk and talk about why Miami for all of us. What other schools we like situate, just some personal situational stuff. But for all of us to be able to open up and trust each other, like God's telling you, oh, I would have went here, but this ain't work out. Like being able to do that, and but then
That's
not go
huge.
other business and do things like that is, I think that's big for our class, as well as the fact that we got to know each other more. And everybody that's committed right now wants to be at Miami. It's not a lot of nobody's settling for Miami. Miami's nobody's backup option. Everybody wants to be there. Nobody's going to be flipping. Everybody loves Miami, wants to be at Miami, and is invested in Miami. That's what I loved about the class.
That's something I've spoken about recently as well. Is one of the things you've noticed about this class, zero decommits so far. Now,
Yeah.
Miami has flipped a couple of young men, OJ Frederic, and more so recently, Nino, the center. I'm not going to butcher his last name, so I continue to call him Nino until I hear somebody else say it properly. But you haven't seen no decommits yet, which I don't know if people understand how huge that is. Like Deryc is saying, that means Cristobal, Mirabal, Field, Salavea, Coach Adai, Jason Taylor, they're not just identifying elite talent. They're identifying elite talent who want to be Canes. The fan base says it constantly. We want young men who want to be Canes. That's how you change a program. It's not just about having elite athletes. It's elite athletes who want to be there, who have that singular drive that I'm bringing this program back to where I know it can be. You said it yourself. This ain't the program that y'all think it is. We all know it. You can go out right now, tweet out the use, say nothing. You'll get random likes from random people in random states because the brand itself has transcended just football. You know what I mean? It stands for something, and what it stands for is a tradition of winning. So to
Mm-hmm.
that, I know I speak for all of the Canes fam when I say we was excited when you committed. First of all, when you put the LeBron meme out there, we was all like, "Oh yeah!" But you can't say nothing. So it's like, all right, let's wait. But I wanted to congratulate you, obviously, for making that decision. It's a big decision, obviously.
Yes, sir.
It's your future. It's obviously something that you speak with your family about. It's something that's not taken lightly. I think sometimes when people are on Twitter, they're like, when is he gonna commit? I mean, up until this point, this is the biggest decision you've made in your life. So I wanted to congratulate you. And
Thank
obviously, we are through the moon that you decided to become a Cane, not just for what you do on the field. It's for, like I said earlier, for what you have in here, for what I've heard just in this conversation alone. We are
you. Hmm.
getting a class of leaders who want to come in and change this culture. So I just wanted to extend that congratulations to you, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And thank you so much for coming on the show. Obviously, when you get your senior highlights, when you go get 75 pancakes, because we
Sir.
60, we gotta hit 75, 80 this year. We're gonna get
Mm-hmm.
them 75. We're gonna come back on here, throw that huddle on, and we all gonna watch him throw around a bunch more sad defensive linemen who thought this was gonna be a good day for them. Also, follow Deryc Plazz on Instagram and Twitter. Tell them what your Instagram and Twitter is, and I'm gonna link them in the description as well.
Twitter is Deryc Plazz. Instagram is _in DAT mode, in that mode.
Go follow him right now. I will link those down in the description. Like and share the video, hit the subscribe button, all that fun YouTube stuff. But the most important thing, follow our newest Cane, or one of our newest Canes. Follow him on all his platforms. He is going to have an explosive senior season, and we are all pulling up for it. Thank you so much, bro, for coming on the channel.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Go Canes, man.